Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a brand new streaming week here on DSPGaming. In fact, this is going to be a crazy one. We got an interview tomorrow. We've got the American Thanksgiving holiday this Thursday. The Black Friday Marathon is coming up this Friday. We may even do DSP Tries It on this very stream. So there is a heck of a lot going on to kind of play out the month of November. I hope that you're all ready. And in fact, I have a few different things to talk about. Already, I've notably made a change that people are noticing in the stream chats that I like to talk about. A little bit of an update on tomorrow and more. All right. This is going to be a more laid back show to start the week. It's going to be a jam-packed week full of fun gameplay, special events, and more. So I hope that you're ready. Sit back and relax. It is time to start this week off with a powerful, energizing, exciting, Thanksgiving-themed episode of the Level 1 podcast.
Attention! The games are about to begin. All hail the king.
All right. If you didn't know, I actually recorded that intro myself on my electric guitar, and that's actually me singing. I just thought I should throw that out there because some people these days, they're like, it's way too much is being done with AI, but absolutely not. No AI here on DSP Gaming, of course. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, the 23rd of November, 2025. We've got an exciting week in store, including continuing and fun gameplay, an interview, special holiday event on Thursday, special marathon on Friday. And today, like I said, it's looking like we may do DSP Tries It, which would be exciting. We'll find out. So it's a good one, a good variety of stuff. And it is also my final streaming week of November. When I come back a week from today, technically it will be the final day of November, but this is the final week for Thanksgiving festivities. As of next week, when I come back, everything will be Christmas themed. We'll have Christmas animations, we'll have Christmas decorations, Christmas pop-ups, Christmas sound effects. So this is your last chance if you want to get your gobble on. And I'm actually happy that this year you could hear this guy, because last year I bought him, and because of all the noise gates and things that I put on the mic, no one could hear him. This year you could. So there you go. All right, so final chance to celebrate the fall, although to me, it feels like we just started, to be honest. This year was all thrown off because our summer here in Washington State of the United States technically didn't end till almost mid-October. Now, of course, it did end in September, technically, but our weather continued to be warm through October. It wasn't until mid-October that it was like cool in my office. So I feel like we've only had like a month of fall, and now here we are. It's about to be Christmas season. So snow and sleds and Santa and snowmen and reindeer and what the hell. I really don't, it feels like we just skipped fall, which sucks because I love fall. It's actually my favorite season because I like the changing of the leaves and I like the cool air and I like the idea of pumpkin spice everything and Halloween and all of that. And it just went by in a flash. That's life. It felt like we had the longest summer in history and then the shortest fall I've ever experienced. So anyway, I hope that you're all having a good fall. I hope that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And I hope that you're ready to chill with me this week as we celebrate autumn for the last week here on the channel before the Christmas rush. Because here, we go all out for Christmas, right? It's going to be exciting this year because I'm going to actually have the animations and sound effects tying in with said animations for Christmas. So they're going to see some really cool stuff on the stream, and I hope that you'll be with me throughout the month of December to see some of that. Of course, brand new games are coming out in December. It's going to be exciting as well. Now, this morning, I made a mistake. And by the way, I'm going to say hello to everyone in a moment, okay? I made a mistake. I made a change to what I meant to say. Didn't make a mistake. Here's what happened, okay? A few factors have come into play recently. First off, I received a comment, message, however you want to call it, that was pretty lengthy but pretty insightful, and it was definitely positive criticism. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm going to paraphrase it for you here today. Essentially, the comment said this: Phil, you've been playing your own music remixes on your streams for about 5 to 7 years. Actually, it started, I used to be on the PlayStation dashboard on PS4, and that music used to play for behind the scenes until I basically started the stream. But then, after a while, people were like, no, you should have this music playing as something else to listen to, right? And I'll be honest, I like it. And people say, well, why do you always use the same music? Well, it's because it's all no problem. It's my voice. It's music remixes taken from my own playthroughs. They're all fan-made, to be transparent here. I didn't make any of them, but they're all fan-made music that was posted to YouTube as like a fan video over the years. So I just made a playlist of these songs that I use for music every single morning. So it's good when I have the pre-stream going before this podcast begins or before I start hanging out with you guys before a gameplay stream, I have this music playing. Now, for those of you who only listen to stuff on demand, you may have never heard this music because I don't record it. I only have it playing live on the stream. It's all the remixes from back in the day. The Mass Effect Thugs on the Floor remixes. The Back in Time remix from that playthrough from a million years ago. I can't even remember what it's called. I forgot. Singularity? I think Singularity. The Call of Duty remix about everyone has a shotgun, dual shotties from like over a decade ago. This is all music that my viewers and fans used to make back when these kind of fan videos were very prominent on YouTube, before YouTube changed, destroyed actual channel pages, and you can't actually have like featured content like that get noticed on your channel page anymore. So people stopped making them, okay? Now here's the thing. Since they're my own voice, my own content, it means that I can never have an issue with those songs. Or can I? Because over the years, progressively, as I've used this music, more and more of the music has ended up having issue. For example, there was a song that I had, a Sonic song. You might remember the Sonic song, I am fucking Sonic, do-do-do. Remember that? There's a reason why I don't play it anymore. Because YouTube, after me playing it for like 5 years on my stream, decided, oh, that's a content ID match to the Sonic soundtrack, therefore your entire video gets claimed on YouTube. You can't have any revenue on it. I'm not kidding. And this has happened more and more over the years. These songs keep getting claimed and blocked on YouTube because YouTube now has some weird, AI matching system claiming that these songs that were fine for a decade now are someone else's property. So you may have seen over the years, I phased them out more and more. That's why there's less songs in the playlist that I use, because people have favorites. They're like, you haven't played it in 2 years. That's why, because these videos keep getting, matched and blocked, and then the stream gets screwed up. Now, recently, in the last few years, I've actually made some very positive changes. If you haven't noticed, my commentary has changed for the better. My content, I feel, has changed for the better. And the thing is, when I play this music before my stream starts, a lot of the times, immediately you're hearing a ton of profanity, a ton of swears, sexual commentary, stuff that I used to do back in the day, because these remixes are from 10, 15 years ago. Okay? They're not from like the last few years. They're ancient stuff. So what's happening is, I feel like there are some people who maybe want to check out Darkside Phil. And you check the schedule. Oh, he's going to stream today. Okay, I'll check out his stream. All right, it's 11 o'clock. I go on stream. Oh, his stream started. And it's like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck it. What the hell is this? Like, this is what he plays before he starts his stream? Isn't he doing a podcast? What is this? Then the podcast starts and you might listen and be like, the podcast is nothing like that. You're right. The music is representative of my old style of commentary and my old content. It's not representative of the current me. Okay, so there's probably a lot of people who listen to it and might get turned off. In addition, let's be honest, I've used this music now for 5 to 7 years. You've probably heard it all, right? You're probably sick and tired, if you're a regular, of hearing the same music every single day. So you might say, well, why don't you use new music? Because there is none. The incentive to make this kind of remix doesn't exist anymore. You know, it used to be, oh, I'll make a fan remix. I'll cut up Phil's gameplay. I'll make a video of this music, put it on YouTube. Then Phil will feature it on his DSP Gaming channel page. I'll get 10,000, 20,000, sometimes 50,000 views within a week. And now my channel gets prominence and I get some attention for myself. That's how it used to be back in the day. Then YouTube changed everything, made it so that you couldn't do that anymore. No one checked out channel pages anymore. And the incentive to make these remixes completely dwindled and died. Now no one makes them. So it is what it is. Okay. There are no new fan remixes at all. So there's nothing to put up. There's nothing new to add. It's only old remixes or no remixes. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. All right. That's what's going on. I was listening to feedback and someone wrote me this really nice message and was like, listen, I actually think it would benefit your channel to literally have silence, no music, still play the slideshow. The slideshow is fine. It's representative of your channel, shows art, advertising and everything. That's good. But get rid of the music. So as of today, no music. Now you might say, well, am I going to add more music? What music? See, people don't seem to understand how the music actually works. Royalty-free music is just that. It's music you can use on YouTube without having to pay a royalty for it. However, that music is still owned by someone else and they still monetize it. So even though I could get royalty-free music to play on here, the stream would get claimed. The entire stream. Not just a portion of the stream where I played the music, but they'd say, oh, the entire stream is now the property of the person whose song you used. So I can't use royalty-free music. So it's going to be silence. We're not going to have music anymore on the beginning. The only time that there will be more silence after that will be, for example, when we're playing Pokemon and I go on a break, I can't play my clips as like a break because I'm not hooked up to the PC at that point. Okay? So I would play the slideshow like this and it would be silent, just like this. So this will be the break for like Pokemon or when I'm playing something on the Switch. When I'm on the PC, then I can always just go over to my highlights screen and play you guys highlights from my history. And that's entertaining. I know the highlights are something to watch. It gives you something to do when, I'm using the bathroom or going on a break or whatever. Okay. So that will continue. But I basically feel like this is a positive change since people are bored with the music and or tired of it. It's not representative of who I am. And I'm also going to be honest with you guys now, too. This is something that I've actually touched upon recently, but it hasn't really been talked about too much. Some stuff, it has been getting flagged as adults only on YouTube. YouTube actually changed their criteria for adults only stuff about a week ago. And what's happening now is excessive swearing is getting actually flagged on YouTube and you get demonetized. So I'm not going to lie, there's been a couple days I played the music and one of the songs had the F word 4 times within like 60 seconds. And they were like, oh, demonetize your whole stream. What? Why? The whole point of YouTube's monetization system is that you're supposed to be an adult to be able to run ads on your videos, and you're supposed to be an adult to be able to contribute to a content creator or a streamer. You should be 18 years of age to be able to send someone a super chat or a membership, okay? You shouldn't be an underage kid doing it. So if I'm swearing on my stream, saying that my stream is for adults, why are you demonetizing my stream so no one can send me a super chat? I get it. What they're saying is, well, maybe advertisements shouldn't run on your stream if you're saying the F word every 10 seconds. Okay, fair enough. Don't run ads. What about, why are you disabling the super chats? There's no logic there. But again, there's no logic to 90% of the things that Google and or YouTube does. I've already explained to you guys over the years how they operate. They're a bunch of Ivy League, born with the silver spoon in their mouth people. They actually think they're smarter than us, even though they don't use the site. They don't daily actively sit here and upload and stream. They have no clue what it's like to be a streamer. So they don't understand that the demonetization actually makes it so that you can't get super chats. They don't understand that. That's ignorant. That's really the best way to describe it. It's ignorance. but they're protected from any repercussions of their ignorance simply because they work for Google, they work for YouTube. Mightier than thou attitude. They'll add in these weird changes like, oh, let's make it stricter so that you get flagged for adult content more often and not test it. Why test it? Testing, you're the test dummy. You the viewer, me the streamer, we're the test subjects. They don't have to test nothing. They just launch it and then see how it goes. And if there's a public outcry backwards from the change they make, then maybe they'll roll it back. But for the most part, they just launch it and say, F it. Let's see how it goes. So, sadly, it's pretty frustrating. And I've had a few streams that appear to have been demonetized for the language of the music. How ridiculous is that? Again, this is music I have been running on YouTube for 7 years, and now in 2025, it's not acceptable. It was acceptable for 7 years, and now all of a sudden, because some idiot in a boardroom had a change of opinion on, oh, well, we should monetize it now everyone has to change their business model, right? So here's the truth. You can still go watch the old content. It still exists. The classic stuff's on the original Dark Side Phil channel. All my old gameplay can be found right here on DSPGaming starting in 2010. It's all still there. I haven't erased it. It still exists. But it's just making it harder and harder to go down memory lane and or even have an attachment to the past when YouTube seems like all they want to do is erase it or ignore it or demonetize it or just make it not viable for a modern audience. And it's funny to me because people say every day, you were funnier back then, you were better back then. Yeah, and if I tried to do that today, I'd be broke because I couldn't make any money on any of it. You know, it's just weird how stuff changes. So anyway, that's a change that I've instituted this morning. For the most part, no one was upset. It just seemed like people were confused. They're like, why is it silent? Is Phil having technical issues? Is he aware the music's not playing? Yes. And I'm going to run these streams without the music moving forward and see what happens. See if this is a positive change, if maybe people will actually come to watch and not be like, oh, the music. So a lot of people have admitted outright in the chat, when they come to my stream, they mute it. They mute it until they see me on screen, then they unmute it and they rewind and start watching. They don't want to hear the music. So now you don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just actively listen. And remember, when I'm going to start the stream, you'll hear this. That's my build up so you know that the stream's going to start. For the podcast, that is, at least. Okay? Or else you'll just hear me talking. Okay? Now, by the way, this doesn't necessarily mean this is 100% the end of the music. Maybe one day we could listen back to it. That'd be cool, like doing a retro event where maybe we listen back to the songs together because you've heard the songs a million times, but I've never reacted to them. Not once. I've been using these songs for, 7 to 10 years? I've never reacted to a single song. That's true. So maybe we could do that. We could do a special stream where I react to the old music and stuff like that. Maybe we can actually do a planned retrospective event where we do something like that. Okay? Okay. All right, everyone. So, welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? I hope that you're all doing well. Let's see who we got. We got Big Mac. We got Bookworm, Dab Hands, Copium, Tobamaru, Yobi, Chris, good morning. Show Nuff, how are you? Mission Vow, what's up? Original Grant, what's up? Over on Kick, who do we got? Dr. Thundercock, Chinese Food, username already taken, Display Dragon, Infinite Crash Outs, that's a good name. 220 is here. Who else do we got? Most Tasteless, Free Harper? Who's Harper? I don't even know who Harper is. I don't remember banning a Harper. Maybe that has nothing to do with me. Phantom, TSK, and more. There's tons of people over there. How's everyone this morning? Save Us. I see Save Us GTA. John over on YouTube. We got a lot of people here this morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to a fresh new week here on the channel, and I am excited. So, I know I've blabbed for 20 minutes already, but now it's time for my opening segment. Are you ready? Right now, someone go tell Asmongold that I want to confirm that we're good for tomorrow. And the reason I need to do this with you guys is because I can't talk in his chat. He's streaming right now on Kick. It's Asmongold. You have to follow his chat for days and days and days to talk in it. So I wanted to talk to him this morning and be like, hey, just want to confirm we're good for tomorrow. Can't talk in his chat. And he might say, well, why don't you DM him? I did. I DM'd him 2.5 days ago, and he hasn't responded. All I want to know is, are we good for tomorrow? Is it the correct times of 12 noon to 2 p.m., as we said? And will he send me his Discord? Because he still hasn't. I just can't reach this guy. He just doesn't really talk to me. I try to talk to him, and he doesn't respond. So I would love for someone who can actually talk in his chat to head over there right now and say, hey, DSP is talking about you right now on stream. He wants to know if we're good for tomorrow. And I need to have his yes or no because he hasn't responded to the DM. Okay? He still streams on Twitch? Is that true? Because people told me he didn't. People told me he stopped streaming on Twitch. Well, I don't have an account on Twitch. I closed mine. I don't have an account that I can even talk on. It's closed. I'm not going to reopen it for this purpose. Yeah, I've been waiting since Friday? I sent him a DM and I said, hey, just want to make sure we're good for Monday, like we had talked about. And by the way, please send me your Discord because you didn't send it yet. So that way I have it. No response. You don't read the kick chat? He doesn't? No, there's not going to be any surprise guests on the thing tomorrow because I've already talked to him about it. And he says, absolutely not. That would be incredibly lame. It's just him and me. So nice try, stupid. The only chat he actually reads is Twitch. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, if someone then has a Twitch account, can you please go over there in his Twitch chat and say, hey, DSP is trying to contact you. He just wants you to confirm for tomorrow. Can you say yes or no that we're on for tomorrow from 12 to 2 like we had agreed? And also tell him to send me his Discord because I don't have it. So I can send him the actual call so we can do the show. That'd be great. Okay? Okay. Yes, I already talked to Wings of Redemption. I've already spoken with him. We are good for December 1st. 100% locked in. He's doing the show on December 1st, so Wings will appear 1 week from tomorrow on the podcast. We'll have another chill discussion about everything that's going on. We'll get caught up because I know lots have actually been going on his end. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. It'll be a good appearance. That's coming up on December 1st, okay? No? Well, maybe not. It's true. Maybe my audience isn't that audience because, I can't talk over there. I don't even have an account anymore on Twitch. I closed mine on purpose. I didn't want anything to do with that site. And, again, I don't know how to get this guy's attention. I'm trying. I have DMs and he won't respond. So here's the truth. Here's how the week's going to go. Today, we're doing Call of Duty, which is excellent. Today, what I want to do is focus on assault rifles. Pick one out. I hope you guys will tell me, what's the best assault rifle, okay? And I want to make a build. I definitely want to make a build where we can get scopes and all attachments and everything and get it going, okay? I want to get a good assault rifle build because I don't have one, and that's what everyone is using in Call of Duty, so I want to get one. That's my goal today, get an assault rifle build, unlock a bunch of attachments, and go from there. Tonight, American Truck Sim. We're going to have a nice chill stream later tonight. I'm going to have a few alcoholic ciders. We're going to chill and drive and have a good time and hang out. Tomorrow is the special interview with Asmongold, as long as it actually happens, which is up to him. Because on my end, I'm good to go. I just need to confirm that he's showing up, and he needs to send me his Discord. So what we're going to do tomorrow, like I always do when we do these special appearances, there will be no formal stuff going on. We're going to hang out for maybe a half an hour. Okay, then at noon, I'm going to turn off pop-ups, turn off messages. I'm going to ignore the chat. I'm going to have about a hour and a half, 2 hour discussion with Asmon, and then after that, we're going to do a decompression session like we always do. Then I'll turn on the pop-ups. I'll start talking to the chat, and for the rest of the stream, we'll hang out and talk about how it went, and I'll shout out contributions and all of that. And then tomorrow night on the late stream, it's the return of Tormented Souls 2. That's going to be great. Continuing on with that. Then on Tuesday, it's going to be Pokemon Legends ZA. No podcast on Tuesday. We're just going to do Pokemon Legends major stream. And then Tuesday night, I believe we are going to be doing more Call of Duty. Yes, Call of Duty continues on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday, there will be a level 1 podcast. It's the return of Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Tormented Souls 2. Thursday is American Thanksgiving. So on Thursday, we'll just do a little build up, and then we're going to have a major Pokemon stream, and that's my only stream for today. Okay? My only stream. And I hope that you guys will come and hang out with me on Thanksgiving if you can make it, and if not, it's all good. Okay? And then on Friday, no late stream on Thursday because it's American Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be doing any late stream that night. I'm going to have dinner with my wife and spend time with her. Friday is the marathon. Friday is the Black Friday marathon that we've been hyping up for a while. So what's going on Friday? Well, on Friday, number 1, I will have liquor. Okay? And for every $100 raised on that stream, I'll take a shot. I've actually purchased a kind of liquor that I have never had before and was pretty expensive. I've never tried it. You guys actually mentioned it a few weeks ago. And I said, oh, maybe I'll try it since people have brought it up now. All right, so I have this liquor to actually drink during Black Friday. Now, in addition, that day we're going to be doing Black Ops 7 gameplay, and we're going to be doing American Truck Sim gameplay. Since I'll be tipsy, the Truck Sim is a no-brainer. But as for Black Ops, I've never played that tipsy before. I'm almost thinking maybe I should just go pure melee or shotgun run because it'll be easier to play like that than actually have to aim. You know what I'm saying? When I've had some drinks. So we're going to do that. Now, in addition, we're going to be doing some shopping. What I want to do is get a new controller because my controller, I only have the one Elite 2 that is great, but doesn't work with every game. For example, it was not great for Silksong, and I still have the callus to prove it on my thumb. We did buy a Mashanike controller this year. However, the Mashanike doesn't work with half the games for some bizarre reason. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, it's like not compatible or something. So we need to get a better controller. I've researched some controllers that have the lowest input delay. We'll look at a few of them in the pricing on Black Friday, and I'm probably going to get one. In addition, I want to look at Legos because, as you know, Lego builds have been a good part of my content this year. We'll do a chill night or two building a big Lego set. There's a few in mind that I would like to look into. One of them is like there's a Street Fighter cabinet. It's not actually Lego, it's a different brand, but it's like a cool Street Fighter cabinet. That's kind of cool. There's another one that's the big Super Mario World where it's Mario riding Yoshi and it actually has motion and shit like this. Okay. So all of that stuff. All right. So we'll look at that. Maybe there'll be a nice Lego set that we can get for the future. Now, in addition, I would like to look at other things like a corner desk, gaming monitors, okay, a new chair. I'd like to look at these things. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to buy them. I'm just saying I want to look at them and see what's out there and what's the pricing and things like that. Because we talked about upgrading my setup recently, and the thing is, I could, but if I do it myself, I can't do it all at once. There's no way that I can drop the money for a desk, a chair, monitors, and everything at once. You're talking over $1,000 easy, okay? I can't just drop that money out of my pocket on a whim. What I could do is slowly upgrade my setup over the course of several months. Maybe get a desk, then the next month, get a chair, then the next month, get monitors. You see what I'm saying? But if on Black Friday things go well and a lot of people support the stream and the Black Friday deals are good, maybe I could get it all at once. But it depends on the level of support I receive and the sales that we find. So we don't know what's going to happen until Black Friday. Okay. In addition to all of that, I'm also going to be having Thanksgiving leftovers as Feasting with the King. So I think that will be fun. And in addition to that, whatever else you guys want to do, like we would have a lot of opportunity to do whatever you guys want. If you guys want to just chill and talk and hang out for a bit, if you have other games in mind you'd like to see me play, like, for example, maybe going back to one of these horror games that we played back in October and do like a second run in one of them, whatever. We could do all of those, all right? So that'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. And I hope that you guys will join me for the fun this Friday, all right? It's going to be a great Black Friday special. Now, I won't be here Saturday, but when I come back on Sunday, so a week from today, that's when the Christmas festivities begin, okay? Christmas festivities this coming Sunday. New decorations, new animations, new pop-ups, new Christmas-themed, sound effects, everything. Everything will be coming up Christmas, okay? I'm excited for that. The Christmas lighting. We have Christmas lighting schemes as well. I have multiple ones of those. It's going to be a good time, okay? Now, one final thing before we kind of chill here. One final thing, okay? My ear itches today. I don't know why my ear is itching badly, my left ear. So, well, it's funny. Swagonito says, I'd invest in a monitor over all of that, and I got a nice one mounted in the corner table, just my opinion. I have nowhere to put it. If I buy a monitor right now, I literally have nowhere I could put it. These are tiny tables in front of me. I can't have a monitor in my face. So if I buy a monitor, I can't use it. I need to have a new setup. Like I said, if I get a nice big corner style desk that has maybe like an elevated thing right here and I could put the monitor right there, then I could get a monitor. But I have no setup for it. That's what I mean. Like, this is a thing where either I have to do it very slowly, piece by piece, to not empty my bank account, or if there's good deals on Black Friday and you guys support the stream well, then I can actually just dump it all and maybe get it all at once. But we have to see what happens on Friday. And it's no big deal if it doesn't happen. It really isn't. Okay? It's not. All right? Cool. All right. All right, cool. So, good stuff. And the final thing to talk about, because we have some shout outs to do and then we're going to get started with just chilling. FYI, today we are at 9 out of 10 goals hit. It's right there. One more support goal hit. And we will be doing DSP Tries It, the return of Five Guys Burgers and Fries for the first time in 4.5 years. I looked into it because I remember I'd done Five Guys on DSP Tries It 100 years ago, and I was like, what happened? So I looked up the video. I tried it, and the food showed up late. It ended up being ice cold. So I had a cold burger. It was soggy and yucky. It just was not a good eating experience. So I was very disappointed. Today, things have changed. You know, the delivery services have gotten a lot better. Obviously, in this case, since it showed up so cold last time, I will likely pay for like the rush delivery and stuff like that. Today, I'm going to get, if we hit the goal, I'm going to get a burger, I'm going to get fries, and I'm going to get a shake. So I'm going to get all three of their big major items. They only have 4 items there. They have those, and they have a hot dog. That's all they sell at Five Guys. So I'm hoping that 4.5 year wait, things have improved. It'll show up faster. It'll be warm, and we'll have a good time. If not, I'm probably never getting it again. Seriously, like I've had it in person, and in person, it's good. So I hope that it shows up good if we do it today. Now, if you want to see that, let's go. Let's hit that goal today. Let's get some support for the stream, for the podcast, for Call of Duty. Let's hit it as early as possible. If we hit it on this podcast, I'll order the food. We'll be set to go, and then we don't even have to worry about it for the rest of the stream. Now, we already know what the next DSP Tries It is going to be, which is great to always have the next thing in line. So what's the next DSP Tries It? Popeye's Chicken is doing an exclusive collaborative meal with Five Nights at Freddy's. A 3-piece tenders meal featuring a garlic seasoning on the tenders, a special side that I think is supposed to be some kind of cheesy bites that you dip in marinara sauce, and some kind of a specialty cupcake thing. It's new. They never had it before. So it's an exclusive meal and has special packaging and all of that stuff. So I hope that you guys will be around for that one. That sounds like it could be interesting. However, they better give me what I order. And what I mean by that is, if you remember, the last time we tried Popeyes was for the Hot Ones meal, and they didn't give me any of the Hot Ones sauce. So what was the point? So hopefully they give me the meal this time, okay? So that's coming up as the next DSP Tries It. When will that be? Likely not this week, because if you do the math, right? Let's say we hit the goal on this stream. Well, then tonight would be 1. Tomorrow would be 2 and 3. Tuesday would be 4 and 5. Wednesday would be 6 and 7. And then, Thanksgiving would be 8. And then Black Friday will probably hit it, but I'm not going to order it on Black Friday. So likely the next DSP Tries It will be Sunday of next week. The only thing would be if we somehow get a big rallying of extra support this week for some reason, then maybe we'll do it earlier. But that's the time frame. That's what it's looking like right now. Okay. Free Hasper says, can you have a badge discount? I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? I don't know. All right. First contribution of the day was from Dark Matter, who did a $2 super chat and said, told Asmon main character syndrome needs to speak. What? Even if that was an attempt at an insult or a joke, it makes no sense at all. What are you talking about? Thanks for $2. I don't even understand what it means. Can you speak English? Again, we can't even tell what that is. Is that an insult? Is that a joke? Is it a reference to something? I think this is what's happened with the internet, is that everyone's just become so goddamn brain rot that they talk like that. And then they think that everyone knows what they're saying. And it's the joke. You get it? No one knows what you're saying. We have brains. We don't know what that means. Speak English. Anyway. Okay, let's see here. So I received a $2 tip. Does Jasper eat with you on Thanksgiving? I don't know if there's any special Thanksgiving-themed cat food. Not really. Here's the truth. And this is from being a pet owner now for a while and doing some research online. When it comes to pet food, okay, and you go to the store, and they seem to have all these themed things. Like, for example, this one has cheese and rice in it. This one has a bunch of veggies in it. This one claims that it's organic. This one, da-da-da-da. None of that means anything, okay? It's all advertising. All the stuff that you see in pet food is bullshit. for the most part. There's a few exceptions. For example, with Jasper Kitty, we changed his diet 2 years ago because he was having urinary tract infections maybe once a year. So we changed him over to this special diet that says it's for urinary health. He has not had an infection since. So there are actual diets that you can change your cat to that will help them with medical things. But outside of that, when you go down either the dog food aisle or the cat food aisle, and you're looking and it's like, oh, it's the featured wet food section, gourmet steak with chicken, with carrots, with rice, with cheese. I just want you to think about what we just said. Carrots, rice, and cheese. How often do you think a cat that lives outside eats carrots, rice, and cheese? I'm pretty sure that a cat that was in a natural habitat before we domesticated them would be eating rodents, pigeons, birds, fish, things that they can catch, proteins. That's what cats eat. Not rice, cheese, vegetables. When did you ever hear, oh no, Farmer Bob is so angry because that darned freaking cat keeps coming by, that big tomcat, and he keeps eating all his cucumbers? What? No, it's all marketing. It's all nonsense, okay? With a cat or a dog, doesn't even matter. All they want is a staple food that they get all the time that they like. And once they have it, that's all they need for their whole freaking life. The only exception, again, would be if they have something medical going on, they got to change their diet, or maybe they get older and their teeth are messed up. Now they need a softer food. But outside of that, it's the same. They don't care. They don't give a shit. You want to know who cares? Humans. Humans care because they think, oh, I want my kitty or my doggy to eat like me. So here, let me give them a carrot and rice meal. Let me give them the one that has cheese because I like cheese. They don't want that. They don't care. Okay? So in regards to Thanksgiving with Jasper, all right? First off, Jasper Kitty does not eat human food, period, because he's a cat. Giving your cat or dog human food is actually incredibly unhealthy for them because that food is not catered towards their physiology. It probably won't be processed properly like the normal food you would give them would be. If you give them the food off your Thanksgiving table, turkey with gravy, stuffing, cranberry sauce, you're giving them things they're not supposed to eat. You're basically giving them empty calories, fat, things that maybe they can't even eat, things that they're going to get sick. Now they're going to go vomit up somewhere in the house. They're going to go poop. They're not supposed to have it, okay? If you want to get your cat something nice or your dog something nice, like a treat that they're used to eating, and you want to give that to them as a special thing on Thanksgiving, go for it. Christmas, I bought them some specialty stuff, a big dog chew or whatever, go for it. But don't give them human food. They're not supposed to eat it at all, period. Really? Think of it this way. Would you feed cat food to your child? Well, they're hungry. They're sniffing it. Just give it to them. No. You don't give them cat food. You don't give a cat human food. You don't do that, okay? At least in this house, that's how it goes, all right? So, yes, we'll probably give Jasper Kitty some treats or something on Thanksgiving. He's not getting anything off the table because it's not good for him, and we're not going to get him sick, and we're not going to get him fat, and we're not going to have a giant cat walking around the house that weighs 100 pounds, 200 pounds, because we treat him poorly, okay? We are about 40 minutes into the show. I've said everything that I have to say, all right? As for tomorrow, I hope it goes down without a hitch. I don't know if it will, because sadly, I have no control over it. Hopefully, because here's what happened earlier in the week, if you remember. I got ghosted. And then as I was streaming, I got a DM. Hey, we can still do the show, but when do you want to do it? And then I said, well, let's do it Monday. And then, and then he agreed. So, and now it's been since then. So it's been almost a week. I haven't heard back. So hopefully it's all good for tomorrow. I don't know. Again, you guys know me. I'm a structured guy. I've explained this recently. I'm a very structured guy. I like to have all my work week laid out so I know what I'm doing each stream, each time slot. I know where we are each game. That's just how I am. My brain is wired that way. When I was a kid, I would plan out my days. When I have my days off, I plan out my days. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wake up in the morning. We're going to eat, shower, eat food, go here, do this, dinner here because we're in this area. Here are options for dinner. Let's consider each one. That's how I am. I've that weird analytical mind. I do. And, it is what it is. Some people would say, well, that's awful. What a horrible way to go through life. I think it served me well. In regards to my work here, like, let's be honest, 17 years, I'm still here. People say, yeah, Phil's Mr. Consistent. We know he's going to be there every day. We know what he's doing ahead of time. We could show up specifically for the streams. I'm a variety streamer. If I didn't have that analytical mind to say, here's what I'm doing each day, each stream, right? You would never know what I'm doing. And therefore, you wouldn't show up for the right games, and I probably wouldn't have survived all these years. It is because I'm a variety streamer that I have survived 17 plus years. It's very true. If I had just focused on Street Fighter or focused on anything, I would have been gone. But because I'm the variety guy, that's how I've survived, okay? So, that's how I am. It actually bothers me. I'm not kidding. It bothers me that I can't tell you, hey guys, 100% tomorrow, everything's good. We're going to have this stream. It sucks. But, it's up to him to say, yes, we're doing it, and send me his Discord, or else I can't send him the call invite. He doesn't have my Discord because he didn't ask for it. So, there you go. Okay? All right. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully someone will say something in his Twitch chat or Kick chat and get his attention. He'll check his DMs. He'll confirm for tomorrow. He'll send me his stuff. I would love that. Okay? All right. Dark Matter with another $2 super chat. You're not structured. You're controlling. Yes, that's what structure is. A structure is something that you build to control a situation so that it's not just loose all over the place and uncontrolled. You're absolutely correct. That's what structure is. Like, if you didn't have a structure on a building, the whole building would fucking collapse because there's nothing to hold it in place to control it. You're right. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say. If you think that controlling things is a bad thing, you're an idiot. You're an actual complete moron. Thanks for $2, by the way. Okay. All right, so that is what I needed to cover for today. All right, so now we actually have an extended period of time to just hang out and do some Q&A. All right, that's simple. So let's go. Do you mean, okay, hold on. I mean Kick badges, like VIP and OG, I want a discount on them. You want a discount on Kick badges. Well, normally, for a VIP badge on Kick, you would have to give 10 subs. Normally, for an OG badge on Kick, you'd have to give 20 subs. Now, I've also said, hey, since now we have Kicks, rather than subs, if you wanted to do, for example, the 10 subs would be $50. So if you do 5,000 Kicks, that's $50. So for 5,000 Kicks, I give you a VIP badge. For 10,000 Kicks, I give you the OG and VIP badges, right? So you want a discount. What kind of a discount are you looking for? He's not answering, so. Anyway, whatever. Okay. I'm not going to waste time on that. Says he's not speaking about it. Forget it. Okay. Someone tipped $2 and said, does Jasper eat with you at the same time during Thanksgiving? Is that not his planned feeding time? Jasper doesn't necessarily have planned feeding times. Reason being, he's never been a cat that overeats. There are some cats that if you always have food in their bowl, they'll eat too much and then they become fat. Jasper hasn't really been like that. We typically fill Jasper's bowl about once a day. And we don't fill it all the way. I say we fill it about maybe 2/3 of the way. And he usually over the course of a day will just eat on and off when he's hungry. Now, honestly, yeah, there are times when we eat dinner and he goes and eats. He'll eat when we're actually eating our dinner. It's kind of a cute thing that he does. There's other days when he's not interested at all. He'll be napping on the couch or whatever. Then there's other days he is so interested because maybe the food we're eating is, appetizing the scent to him. And he'll jump on the dining room table and start to smell the food. We're like, no, you can't do that. And we never give him the food. You tell him no. And we either make him lay down on the other side of the dining room table or we take him off the table entirely. But we never feed him from the table because he knows he's not going to get any food from it. You see, that's the difference is some people, they'll be like, oh, today I feel like I'm in a mood where I'm going to be nice to the cat. I'm going to give him human food. Well, guess what? Now the cat thinks every day it's getting human food because you taught it that behavior. So that's on you if your cat now wants it all the time, bothers you for it, and then gets overweight. So, No, we don't necessarily feed him during our dinner time, but the food is there and he can eat. We always make sure that when we're eating, his food is there so he can eat if he wants when we're eating dinner. Someone took the block and says Rockstar Games screwed themselves over with GTA 6. They overworked their employees before firing them, and now they have to delay the game. Well, we already talked about this a couple weeks ago when the delay happened. The rumor was that, yes, the employees felt like they were being overworked. And what they ended up doing was trying to form a union. And as they were attempting to form a union, they even had like a Discord server where people would talk about it. And it was like 250 employees that wanted to form this union. Apparently Rockstar got wind of this, went in there, found out who the ringleaders of this effort were, and fired them all. I think it was 8 people who were like trying to form the union. So they fired them all. So then the employees basically staged a protest, and there was actually this protest outside of Rockstar. Was it North? It was one of the Rockstar divisions. They had pictures of it on the internet. It was happening. But that was like weeks ago. So I don't know any follow-up. I don't know what's actually going on. We don't really know anything. So it is what it is. I'm sure we'll get updates eventually, but we don't know. Okay? Someone tipped 250. So something I've learned about life is it's often chaotic and you can't control it. Sometimes it's frustrating as that may be. You're right. And as I'm getting older, obviously, this is something that I've come to terms with, is that there's things that are going to happen that are completely out of your control, no matter how much you plan, no matter how much you want to control the situation. And the worst part about it is a lot of the times it affects people close to you. It affects people who you love. And it's just a natural occurring thing in life. There's things that are going to happen over time that you cannot help or control. And you just have to learn how to cope with it. And it sucks because you get frustrated and everything, but slamming your table and screaming and crying and being upset about it constantly doesn't necessarily fix the situation. It's a way to vent, but it doesn't really fix anything, right? So I'm definitely there with you. As I'm getting older, I'm seeing things around me happen constantly that I can't really do anything about. And it's like, this sucks, but that's life, right? Now, in regards to tomorrow, I'm 1,000,000% on board. I've said I was on board since day one. I'm the one who even had the idea and reached out. He said yes. Then he flaked out. Then he responded again, said yes. Is he going to flake out again? I don't know. But you know what they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So last week I tried it. It didn't work. Then we set today, we set it for tomorrow. If tomorrow works, amazing. I'd love to do it. 100%. I'm excited for it. I'm literally excited for it. But if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. It's not. It's really not the end of the world. We'll see what happens tomorrow, okay? Kick has renamed Jasper to John Boy. All right, well, I guess you guys can refer to Jasper Kitty as John Boy Kitty from now on. There you go. That's up to you. Nasty Mandy, 12 months as a member here on the channel. Thank you for 12 months of support, Nasty Mandy. Anything that you miss about the East Coast living? Okay. There's a few small things I missed about the East Coast living. When I lived in Connecticut all the way up until 2014, since I was a kid, 1982 I was born. So you're talking many, many years of my life I lived there, over 3 decades, okay? So thing number one that I miss about Connecticut, the food. And when I say the food, I mean there's a few distinct cuisines in Connecticut they don't have out here. Authentic Italian food does not exist in Washington State. I have been to 3 regional restaurants that claim they're authentic Italian. None of them are. Not even close. Most of them are more Americanized Italian or their attempt at it, but it's very different. There's no authentic pizza out here whatsoever that would be like East Coast good Italian pizza. Doesn't exist. Okay? Seafood. Out here we do have seafood, but not the kind of seafood on the East Coast. On the East Coast, clams, shrimp, lobster. Out here, we basically have a lot of fish, meaning salmon, cod, that kind of stuff. We have shrimp, but there is no clams whatsoever out here. 0. They don't exist. There's also almost no lobster. It's not like a local thing. So we have different kinds of fish. I do miss that nice East Coast seafood used to be great, okay? And East Coast American fare, and what I mean by that is diner-style food, like diners in general, or just going to a good place that's like a local, like a burger place or whatever. Nothing like that really exists out here, although recently I did find Shake and Go, and I really like Shake and Go, so maybe I do have a local place now, but there's no diners at all. Like, my wife and I would love to go to a diner. We used to go to this place. It was called Sherry's, and it was very much like an old style American diner. There were 2 or 3 locations in our area and we were eating there. They all went out of business. They all just closed. So there's really nothing like that out here at all. Out here, most of the cuisine is very, very Asian focused. So Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Filipino, Thai, that kind of stuff. Then you got Indian food. There's also a lot of Mediterranean. There's almost no American fare and there's almost no European food at all. It's all Asian. So we have to like almost always get Asian food when we're eating out. And it gets frustrating and tiring and boring. Okay. So I'd say that's number one. The food is definitely one of the things I miss. The second thing I miss, I literally used to have an awesome zoo that was only a block or two away from me when I lived in Connecticut. And I used to like going to that zoo maybe once or twice a year to see the animals. I like animals. And, the zoo out here is over an hour away. We have to drive and we don't really go there that often because of it. Okay, that's number two. And then lastly, and obviously this is probably the biggest one of the three, I miss my parents. My parents live in Connecticut. They never moved. I was hoping that when I moved out here 11 years ago that they would follow suit. That was actually one of the discussions we had, is that maybe they would actually move out here. If I like it, they would move out here too. It never happened, and now they're just too old and they can't move. They're stuck in Connecticut till the end of their lives, and I miss them. It sucks that that situation happened because originally the discussion was that they were going to visit a lot. They made my move out here, and that all changed right away. Within a few years, those plans were out the window, and that's life. It is what it is. So I miss them. I used to spend, the holidays with them. I used to go to dinner with them once a week. Even when I was at the height of my YouTube popularity, I was still hanging out with them once a week, spending time with them. And I can't do that anymore because I live across the country. But I still call them. I called them yesterday, and we had a nice half an hour conversation, catching up on everything going on and stuff like that. So it's not like we don't keep in touch or anything like that. We do a lot. It's just I don't get to see them, So those are the three things about Connecticut that I miss the most, for sure. There's a lot of things about Connecticut I don't miss, okay? Okay. Okay. Dark Matter. Another $2 super chat. Compromise is better than control. It's why you're friendless. I'm married, stupid. Married. My best friend lives with me. You think I'm friendless, but you're the one sitting on my stream throwing me money to say stupid shit. Who's the loser here? Exactly. Thanks for another $2, by the way. Really appreciate it. By the way, I do have friends. Just because you don't know about them, you don't see them, you don't talk to them, that's intentional. That's by design. That's so you can't harass them, because I don't want shitbags like you who have no lives obsessing over every little piece of my life and trying to make life miserable for those who associate with me. So thanks, and please keep sending money. Genius. Okay, I got a $1.50 tip. Hold on one second. A lot of tipping today. You have an analytical mind. You like to plan everything. Is that why you get frustrated when a stream doesn't go as planned? Like last minute, you have to do an online game and the servers are going down. Do you feel like you've gotten better at adapting on the fly, or do you still need to plan a lot? No, I want to plan because, again, here's the secret of my success, okay? The secret of my success is very simple. I don't have one small audience that tunes in for one thing. I don't. I have a very broad audience that come by for the specific things that they want. So this morning, we have people here who want to see my podcast. After that, there'll be people here who want to see Call of Duty. Tonight, there'll be people here who want to see Truck Sim. Now, is there some crossover there? Yes. Is it all crossover? Absolutely not. There'll be people that when I start playing Call of Duty, they'll leave. But then they'll come back tonight for Truck Sim. There's people who will be here tomorrow that won't be here the next day. But they're all showing up for what they want, and I'm consistent, and I plan out these streams, so because of that, they know when to show up. That's why when people watch my content and they say, I can't believe Phil is a streamer who gets 260 viewers on YouTube, 80 viewers on Kick, so less than 400 viewers a day, but he's getting the support he does. Well, that's why I'm getting the support I do, because it's not the same people. Even though I might have 300 people on streams right now, overall today, I probably have over 1,000 unique viewers. And then even more during the course of the week. And they all come by, and when they see what I'm doing, something that they like, they contribute. Okay? Now, Are there times that things happen that the streams can't go as planned? Absolutely. Like you just said, what if I go to play a game online and the servers are down? What if I go to play Tormented Souls 2 and there's a hard lock in the game because of a game bug and now we can't make progression and we have to stop playing it? What if I do a night stream thinking this is going to be the conclusion of a game and we beat the game in 10 minutes instead of 2 hours and now I have all this time to kill? Yeah, that does frustrate me. Absolutely it does. It does. It frustrates me. And it becomes difficult to adjust on the fly because of the way I've structured my streams, the people are there for just that thing. If you were here just to see Call of Duty today, and all of a sudden the Call of Duty servers are down, chances are you're not going to stick around if I start playing a horror game out of nowhere. You're like, I wasn't here for horror. I'll come back when he plays Call of Duty. So it sucks. But what I have found is that in a lot of these cases, as long as I keep my cool and I adjust on the fly, usually what I'll try to do is just a hangout session. Let's do a chill with Phil session. All right, let's just hang out and do chill with Phil. Okay? It works for the most part. Like, I actually set it up the other night when we were doing Leave It Alone, and I knew that we were going to beat the game in like a half an hour. I said, so here's what we're going to do. Finish the game, and then we're actually just going to do chill with Phil. The stream went incredibly well. Tons of people showed up, engaged, supported. Super success. So I'm getting better at it over the years. I think I'll get better and better at it the more that I get used to this kind of thing. But yeah, I am a structured dude. Absolutely. That's why you'll see me sometimes get really frustrated. I've said this, when it's out of my control, it's not something that I goofed up on, but it's a technical thing or, online thing crashes, something doesn't work, a piece of equipment breaks. That frustrates me because I didn't cause that, but now I'm suffering the consequences of it. It pisses me off, for sure. All right, so we're currently at, what are we at, $14? $14 of support. So, again, like I said, we're at 9 out of 10 goals. Today, if we hit the goal on this stream, I'm ordering 5 Guys burgers and fries for the first time in 4.5 years. A burger, fries, and a shake. Let's go. Let's get some support rallying for the stream. Let's hit that goal. Let's get as far as we can during the podcast, so when I'm playing Call of Duty, I don't have to be worrying about it, and I can order the food ahead of time so it's already scheduled and all of that, so I don't have to do it later. Let's do it. Let's get that goal. Who wants to see 5 Guys burgers and fries here today on the stream? Let's go. Jade says, what guns are you using today? Assault rifle. I want to find a good assault rifle that I can stick with. I can unlock all the attachments for, including a scope, so I can start playing the game for real. Because up to this point, I've just been trying to unlock the melee class and the sniper rifle. I've done that now. But now I want to be able to have like a regular gun to go to, because that's all anyone's using online. Literally everyone is sniping or running around with assault rifles. That's it. There's no other gameplay in the game right now. So that's what I want to do, is I want to get a good assault rifle build today. Why don't I do giveaways? Because giveaways are pointless. Giveaways only reward one person out of many, and it creates a sweepstakes-like environment that I feel is basically not abusive. What's the word? Exploitative. People get that, I could win. I could win a contest. I could win a prize. I could win. It's stupid. Only one person's getting it. There's no point to doing it. I would much rather say, hey, let's hit a goal, and then we do a piece of content that everyone can watch and enjoy together. Okay? Right? Or, for example, what are we talking about on Black Friday? Well, if I get a great amount of support on Black Friday, maybe I'll just spend that money immediately to upgrade my setup, and that benefits everyone, because everyone gets to see improvements to the setup. Everyone gets to see better content. You benefit from it. Everyone benefits from it. Everyone gets a new episode of DSP Tries It to watch and enjoy. Everyone gets to see my setup improve and enjoy the better content, as opposed to one person won a game. Out of how many thousand? What benefit is that to everyone? Nothing. It's actually a waste of time. Really? Buckwell says, I won $25 in Steam cash from Bumblebee Farmer after you sent us to him. Well, good for you. Congrats. So that's one person who benefit. Now think of all the people that didn't get that and how pissed at you they are. Upset they are with you. No, here's another factor as well. Okay, this is me being truthful. This is me being transparent here with this part of the answer as well, okay? I used to do giveaways all the time. All the time. I called it the Hardcore Gaming Season Giveaway. It was every single September, October, November, and December of every year, weekly I would do a giveaway. Sometimes it would be a game. Sometimes it would be collector's edition content from a game. Sometimes it would be a peripheral. Sometimes it would be, there's a million things I gave away, okay? No one cares. No one cares. Do you hear anyone talking about that? No. They act like it never happened. Did you know that when PlayStation 4 came out, I gave away a PS4 to a fan? Did you know that? No, of course you don't. Because all you heard was the toxic shit on the internet. Phil doesn't do giveaways. Phil's greedy. Phil's this, Phil's that. You never heard about that stuff because no one cares. Now, what can you indisputably say? Well, Phil's done DSP Tries It over the years. When Phil hits a support goal today, he does a special episode of DSP Tries It every time. That's right. How do you know that? Because it's on the fucking internet right now and you can watch it. Everyone can watch it. It's an enjoyable piece of content for people all over the world. And you can watch it whenever you want, as opposed to the one person each week who got a giveaway for years. And now no one talks about it and acts like it never existed. See? So there's a difference between basically having these shitbags control the narrative versus me. If the rewards for hitting milestones of fun stuff or fun support equate to content that you can see, then they can't say I didn't do it. As opposed to literally right now, I could say, let's do a giveaway. If I get 1,000 subs, I do a giveaway. And then they could say, oh, well, Phil never did it. Phil never gave it away. Phil is a liar. And how do you disprove it? There's no point. No one talks about old DSP Tries It's because the old DSP... Actually, that's a lie. People talk about old DSP Tries It's all the time and think that they're the best ones because they were hilarious products from back in the day. You know, awful food and things like that. Okay? What just happened? I lost video signal and then it came back. That was weird. That's never happened before. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. My video signal went out and I moved the mouse, it came back, but that's never happened before. Task manager is perfectly fine. No clue. Everything's fine, so no clue why that happened. Ugh, great. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. No, the villain, I just explained. He says, is it possible to set up lo-fi music in the background? Okay. No. Because it's going to get claimed. Here's what I can do. All right? I could learn how to make my own music, create it, and put it on the streams. That's not going to get claimed. Right? Or I could try to find an artist who makes music and pay them specifically to have that music on my stream. Therefore, there's a legal agreement in place so they can't try to screw me and claim it on the back end. Those are the two situations. That's it. There's no other situations available. If I use royalty-free music, it'll get claimed. If I use licensed music, it'll get blocked. I can't use any other music. So it's either the remixes that everyone is tired of and says they don't want anymore, or it's no music at all. So I said, let's try no music at all for a while and let's see how it goes. Okay? There you go. What about classical music? Funny enough, if you're not aware of this, this has actually been a problem recently on YouTube. People are using things that are actually considered public domain. So if you don't know what public domain is, it means that something at one point was copywritten or trademarked, but it basically is so old that now it has become part of the public consciousness. It's so old that everyone knows about it, and now everyone is free to reference it and use it as much as they want. A lot of classical music has actually hit that point where you can actually just use it because it's so old, okay? Guess what? It's still getting claimed on YouTube. There are actually musicians who do YouTube content, and in the last few months to year have been saying, why is public domain classical music getting claimed on YouTube? You can't do that. But it's happening. Then they have to fight the dispute it, fight it. I think one guy even has a lawsuit in place because there is a company so egregiously doing it, trying to make money, stealing money from others, that he's suing them to try to stop them from doing it, to my knowledge. So, yeah, YouTube is just not a safe place to do this crap. It's not. Their AI is atrociously bad. Atrociously fucking bad. It's not a safe place to be playing random music at all, and I'm not going to risk it. There's no point. There's not. The thing is, if there was enough positive benefit to do it, I would do it. What's the positive benefit? How many people actually care about that music? To be frank, no one. It's not a big deal. All right. So is there anything else you guys would like to discuss today? Okay. Cracker Jack says, do you ever see yourself moving again? Listen. Well, there's a few things. Okay. Number one, I like where I live. I like the area because there's way less population here than where I came from. When I lived in Connecticut, the population was crazy. And anytime you wanted to go somewhere, it was bumper to bumper cars. It was just a nightmare. Okay. I like that there's less people out here. I do, in general, like the weather, the cooler air, the cleaner air, stuff like that. Okay. I like that everything is within driving range of just a few minutes from me that I need. A grocery store, the hospital or a doctor, anywhere to buy anything that I need, food. It's all right here. I don't have to go far to get anything really. Okay. I do like that. And I like living in my private community. Quite frankly, if I didn't live in a private community, I could guarantee 100% tell you this. I would have been harassed by people in person coming to my house and shit in the last decade. They haven't because I live in a private community. They can't. The moment that they try to enter my gate, they're committing trespassing and I can have them arrested. So it's never happened. And that's a good thing. Like I say, as much money as I spent and all the financial distress I put myself in to move here, that was the best decision I ever fucking made. Because now, in retrospect, looking at all the shit that's gone down on the internet and all the lol cow hatred and shit thrown at me, it's the best decision because people don't fuck with me. Okay? Now, would I ever move? I mean, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I basically live in Liberalville. 100%, 100% left-leaning liberal stuff out here, and I don't agree with all of it. There's some liberal stuff that I agree with, but not all of it. And they constantly have all these decisions they make politically out here that hurt the people, and the people are too dumb to realize it. So I see our taxes going way up out here. Our prices are skyrocketing. And the people are like, oh, this is good because they're morons. Okay, like it's really frustrating to live in Liberalville. Well, everyone just is so dumb and ignorant that they don't realize that the people in charge aren't actually looking out for their best interest. Either they're ignorant themselves or they're actually manipulating the people to think that they're doing the right thing when they're not, just so they can get over. So it's very frustrating in that regard. Like I said, in the last 10 years that I've lived here, or 11 years, Seattle itself went from a place that I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great place that I would definitely like to go hang out and have a good time, to I'm not going there. It's a hellhole. Why the hell would I ever want to go to Seattle? Crime, businesses all moved out, literally homeless and druggies living in the streets right next to the tourist area. Like, why would I ever want to go there? You know, that's what's happened here since I've lived here in the last 11 years. When I moved here, okay, when I moved here, it was nice. Now, it's on a downward trend, okay? So would I ever move? I'm not going to say no, but at the very same time, let me tell you, it's such an expensive, stressful hassle to move that I don't know that I would ever want to. Like right now, I could probably move to a different state where prices are lower, taxes are lower, and in general, the people would be more in line with the way that I think. I'm not saying it's right-wing conservative because I'm actually not a right-wing conservative in any way. I'm kind of moderate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to be in a place where people are more reasonable, not all the way to the one way like they are out here. All right? So I could do that. But the problem is, even though you might say, let's see, I'll save money on taxes. I'll save money on prices, but I have to spend an insane amount of money to move. Is it worth it? Probably not. Okay? Now, also, I mean, there is the concern. Right now, my credit is awful. You know, I had a bankruptcy 5.5, 6 years ago, almost 6 years now. I need my credit to bounce back before I can do anything like that. No one's going to give me a mortgage, you know, when my credit score is in the tank, in the dumps, because it says I had a bankruptcy, you know, 5.5, 6 years ago. So I have to wait for that to clear up, and then I'll be better off, and then I'll have more financial freedom to look at options. But right now, it's not even feasible. Even if I wanted to move, I couldn't. Okay, I'd have to get an apartment or something, and I don't want to do that. I would want to buy again. So, yeah. Now, if I were to move, definitely what I would want to do is research internet, research all kinds of things to try to find out if I could do an improvement. Like, I don't want to move and downgrade. That would be the worst possible thing. I move, but then I find out later on the internet there is worse, so now I can't do my streams like I do. And also the weather is terrible, because that's the other thing. A lot of the cheapest places in the country are awful weather. Florida is one of the most inexpensive places to live in the country. Awful, terrible humidity, heat, thunderstorms, awful things all year. Hurricanes, right? Texas. At one point, I was considering Texas. Now, knowing what I know about Texas, I probably wouldn't want to move there. They have extreme heat and extreme cold. They're not really equipped for it because now they're starting to get more extremes and they weren't really ready for it. So now there's like the worst of the worst twice a year. So I don't think I would want to move there. Like here I get more moderate weather, which is one of the major reasons why I moved from Connecticut because I hated the weather in Connecticut. When I consider moving to a European country, see, here's the funny part about saying something like that. Number one, of course, even more expensive. Like if I were to move to Europe, I couldn't bring my shit. How am I going to ship all my stuff across the world? You know how expensive that is? I would never have enough money for that. That's number one. But number two, are you aware that outside of the United States, most countries, in order for you to be able to immigrate there and live there, require you to actually qualify a certain amount of criteria? Like, for example, they want to verify that you're going to have a job, that you're going to have income, that you can pay taxes there so that you are a paying individual into their economy. They don't want you just coming into their country and being there, but not benefiting them in any way. So they actually have all these qualifications. You have to become a citizen. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Here in the United States, it's like you just fucking lie and you get right in. Oh, I'm here for tourism for like 2 months. Oh, okay, stamp. And you never leave. And they never come follow up or nothing. That's why all of a sudden this year, with ICE actually doing their job for the first time in probably 20 years, actually finding these illegals who've been here for ages and kicking them out, that's why the country's in a big uproar about it. Well, it was never supposed to be like this. It was actually supposed to be where we enforce the rules and we kick people out that aren't supposed to be here. We just haven't done it in 20 years. So now they start to do it and people, oh, well, don't you understand that you're uprooting families? Yeah, the families that weren't supposed to be here because they didn't follow the rules. But in other countries, they don't put up with that shit. So, for example, let's say I decided I want to move to, I don't know, Belgium for some reason. Maybe the prices are cheaper, beautiful countryside, who knows, right? Well, the Belgian government would probably say, you can't just move here. We want to know all about you. We want to say, what's your job? How much income do you make? How much, here's what you're going to have to pay in taxes when you move here, confirm. And all that has to be like vetted before you're even allowed, or else they don't let you in. That's how crazy it is. Like, that's what I mean. So it's different. It's not like everyone just thinks, oh, you could just move wherever you want. You can't. That actually is not true. Tourism, yeah, most places you could go tourism. You can't just stay. I've decided to stay and just live here. No, they throw your ass out. We're the only country that let people do that. Everyone else like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? Get out. All right, what else you guys want to talk about? And by the way, it sure would be great to get some more support. We are currently at $14 of support for the entire podcast. The goal here was to try to hit the goal so that we could actually order the food and be sure that we're locking in to do DSP Tries It today. I don't know what's going on today, that for some reason, I guess the people who are supportive of the podcast aren't here today, because we've had some days where we get tons of support on the podcast, and today doesn't seem to be that day. So I want to do DSP Tries It, but we got to hit the goal. If we don't do it then. What can you do, right? I have no idea if I played Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I played 2 Prince of Persia games back in the day. I don't recall what they are, and then they stopped making them. So I really don't remember them at all. Are we qualified for bounties today? Well, Mojito Kitty, do you see a moderator over on Kick Chat that would do bounties? If there was someone like Dunsfelter around who wanted to do the wagers for my performance in the game, but I don't see anyone. So probably not, because I'm not going to be setting it up every match. Jade, I don't know where we're going in Truck Sim tonight. Didn't we drive all the way to Utah last time? I think we did. We'll have to see what jobs are available as always. Professor Corvu says, I'm halfway through your Back to the Future the game playthrough. Any behind the scenes things that happened during that one? Oh, I have no idea. That was my actual, legitimate first choose your own adventure style playthrough. Today we call them visual novels or whatever. But back then, that term didn't even exist. It was more like any game that's a narrative-based game where you make choices and dialogue that can determine what happens in the game. And or those games also had like quick time events and puzzles to solve. So it was actually the earliest Telltale Games game I had ever played. This is before Telltale Games even did The Walking Dead and stuff like that. But to be honest, I have not rewatched it. I don't remember much about the situations around recording it or anything like that. I do remember that the game was actually a sequel to the Back to the Future trilogy. And that blew me away. That basically continued the plot of Back to the Future. Of course, it didn't have the original voice cast of the movies or anything, but it was well done in that regard. Garce says, DM me a link to your intro music so I can play it while waiting for your stream to start myself. No. No, but you can look up a lot of those guys, like S Beast Music was the guy who did all the rock remixes for it. Ghost Drone was the guy who did Thugs on the Floor and a few of those kind of remixes. You know, in general, you could probably find a lot of them just by searching YouTube for DSP Music Remix, something like that. But they're all old. Like, you have to look back 10 plus years. No one has made active new ones in 100 years. So you have to look at all the ancient shit. Thanks to the Roman Victor for 14 months as a member. He says, fill his love and fill his life. Thank you to the Roman Victor. All right, anything else, guys? In general, it looks like you guys just don't have a lot to talk about today. So we could jump into Call of Duty on the earlier side, but, you know, here's the problem. When I play Call of Duty, as you all know, I can't talk with you. I have to focus on the game. That's the thing. And, you know, my blood pressure goes up. I get all stressed out. It's just what happens when you play competitive FPS games. I am hoping that today I will do better and I'll unlock good stuff with the assault rifle and we'll have a good time together. I really do. I hope that we can make good progress. But in general, this is a game where I'm just not going to get to talk with you guys a lot. All right, to be honest. And because of that, what happens is I don't get a lot of contributions usually during Call of Duty. The times that we usually hit the goals, like last minute, someone will contribute to hit the goal, but it's not like during the gameplay. It's usually like at the end that I bring it up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I do hope that you guys will support today's stream. I would love to do DSP Tries It today. But you know, I can't make Call of Duty a more interactive stream. It's not really possible. All I can do is try to talk with you guys between the matches about the builds and stuff. But it is stressful of a game. I know I'm going to rage at it, you know, the usual when I play it. It's not a chill social game like Pokemon or Truck Sim or something like that, you know? No, I don't watch sports. Would I do a taste test of a bunch of apples? Would you guys want to see me do a taste test of a couple apples? I could, like, no lie, right now I could go to the grocery store. I could probably come home with 7 or 8 different apples because they have a ton out here in Washington State. It's wild, the variety that we have. But would you think that's a good DSP Tries It? Me biting into an apple 8 times? I didn't think so. I did not think so. Recommendations for getting over a cold. Lots of hydration, because when you have a cold, typically your body gets dehydrated. Basically keeping yourself, well, first of all, warm, but not overly warm, because if you have a fever, obviously that's a different thing. But you definitely want to keep yourself warm. You want to eat things that have, that are nutrient rich, protein rich. You definitely don't want to be eating a lot of fatty foods and a lot of sugary foods. You want to be eating more hearty, protein and vitamin rich foods. That's why a lot of people eat soup like chicken noodle soup. You got a good protein in there that's low fat. You got a whole bunch of usually vegetables and things in there that have good nutrients in them. The one trade-off with chicken noodle soup is, unless it's a fresh made one, usually it's very high in sodium. But listen, if you're sick, your body ain't going to care about the sodium. It just wants everything else. Okay? So yeah, I would say hydration. I would say warmth. I would say high nutrient food, and make sure you're getting rest, although that could be tough if you're really sick. Because if you're really sick, all your symptoms are probably keeping you awake, but your body wants to recuperate. Typically, when I'm really sick, I just try to sleep as much as I can. I'll just try to stay in bed and like lay there all day if I can, just try to knock myself out. And that way I could get through it without having to suffer through all the annoying symptoms. Because personally, I don't take a lot of medicine. I don't. I almost never take like over-the-counter medicine, because it doesn't do anything to stop the cold. All it does is it treats the symptoms, but it doesn't really work. Like, you take Robitussin, okay, it's going to stop you from coughing for like 2 hours. It's not even worth it. It doesn't really do anything. They're not giving you strong shit. That's not prescription strength shit. The over-the-counter stuff is pretty weak and crappy. So most of the decongestants over-the-counter don't even work on me. I still stay stuffed up anyway. Frosted Shard, I have no idea. I don't know how to find that out, nor do I care. He says, who's the most famous person who would follow you on X or subscribe to your channel? I don't even know if there's any way to look at that, and I wouldn't care to find out regardless. Am I wearing expensive cologne today? Not overly expensive, but also not cheap. It is a designer cologne. It is a designer cologne that I'm wearing today, but it's not like the insane, $150, $200 bottle style. Did I not shower today? No, I showered. Look, I'm clean shaven. I shaved and showered this morning. Why do you think I'm not showered? I smell good. You're all out of questions? All right. So is it time to end the show? Lord knows we're not getting any support on it anyway. I'm just hanging out with you guys. So why do I wear cologne when I sit at home alone? I don't sit at home alone. My wife is here. My wife gets to smell the good cologne all day, and I get to smell the good cologne all day. That's two people that like it. An idiot. You sit at home alone. I'm married, you fucking moron. Like, God, I swear to God, people are so dense. They actually think that my existence in this room is the end-all, be-all of my existence. Okay? I'm in this room from around 10:30, 11 a.m. till around 4 p.m. 4:30 p.m. And then again, I come back in here around 6:30 p.m. and I'm here till like 10:30 p.m. So in any given day, I'm in here like 9 hours. So, there's the rest of the 24 hours that I'm not in this room. You realize that, right? I don't walk into a black hole alternate dimension for the rest of the day. I go and I have a light outside of the room. People don't realize that. Like, wait, really? You're a real person? Oh. All right, folks. Well, thanks for a chill podcast to start the week. As I've stated, we'll see what happens tomorrow. No formal podcast tomorrow, but, we'll see how everything goes with everything else. Hopefully it goes well. And the formal podcast actually will return on Wednesday. All right? All right. Thank you guys for chilling here on the Level 1 podcast today. I hope that you have enjoyed. And the formal show returns on Wednesday for some chill fun. In the meantime, hope you'll stick around for Call of Duty, Truck Sim, and everything else coming up this fun holiday week. Peace out, everyone. I will see you soon for more chill fun.